And there she was, stepping on a sailboat for the first time in her whole life, and she was about to embark for a week-long adventure just on a sailboat. Guys, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to this new Travel Thursday episode. Today I want to share with you tips and tricks on how to sail around the world for free. Yes, you heard me, for completely free.
I am the king of the world!
You see, last summer with Trina, we had this idea of buying a sailboat. We still have that idea, but it has been postponed. And so we were looking for a way to build up an experience and sail. And we ended up finding someone who was going from New York City to Maine on his sailboat for a full week and was looking for crew. Now that might sound a bit like, ooh la la, wait, you went with strangers. Yes, but let me explain first. When you're looking at building up your experience on a sailboat, you have a few options. First of all, you go to a sailing school, you rent a boat. Second option, you charter a boat when you're on your holidays somewhere in the Caribbean or anywhere you want. And third options, you have friends or family or friends of friends who have a sailboat that can take you on the sailboat. And then they can teach you a bit and you can practice and stuff. So there's this thing that very few people know about, but actually let me share it with you. A lot of boat owners are actually looking for crews to join them on their adventures, on the leg of a trip, for example. And I'm going to tell you why later, but let me share with you how you can find those people. So it's super simple actually. The easiest way is simply to Google it and find the local websites in your country that actually list those opportunities. So for example, if you're in the US, you can go to Google and you're going to be typing looking for crew on a sailboat or sailboat cruise. And then you're gonna find different websites, and the one I really liked when I was doing my research was called Crew Bay, and basically it's kind of like a dating website for people who sail and people who are on boats. And so on one side you have people who are looking to get on a boat, who can list what they're looking for, their experience, and on the other side you have people who have a boat who can list the trip they're gonna take and how many people they're looking for, the level of experience of people they're looking for. Now, if you haven't sailed too much, don't worry too much because there are people who are looking for all different kind of levels. So, for example, in our case, Matthew, who took us on his journey, you can check out those videos. They're pretty cool. I think the views in Maine are like breathtaking. Anyway, so Matthew was actually looking for company more than like an experienced sailor. So it was perfect for us with Trina, and we just went on. We actually messaged the guy. We ended up meeting up in Brooklyn, and after feeling that there was a good connection between us, we decided to go on with the trip, and he accepted to take us on his sailboat. And you always have to remember, sailboats are confined spaces and stuff like that, so you have to make sure that you guys will get along before you get on that trip. The best way, in my opinion, is discussions and meeting in person, maybe a few times before you take a trip. Now, you might be wondering by now, yeah, okay, that's great, but is it just for local trips or whatever? Actually, no. If you're like young and crazy and you have like that idea of sailing around the world, I'm telling you, there are people who are doing like those crazy legs on the ocean and they're looking for crew. So, for example, the last one I saw, I think, was a guy leaving the Fiji, going back to New Zealand with a sailboat. I think last year I saw a guy going from Peru actually to Polynesia. I mean, you have also people just cruising in the Mediterranean Sea. You have like so many options. I think it's a great opportunity to take it if you don't have too many restrictions, if you're flexible and you want to go on with an adventure. So you might be wondering how much that's gonna cost you, and that completely depends on the sailboat owners. But just know that most of them are just gonna ask you to contribute to the cost, which is usually fuel, food, and docking, and you guys split the cost, and that gets usually very cheap unless you guys are eating caviar and drinking champagne every day. But I don't know many people who do that, so it's gonna be pretty cheap. Maybe they're gonna ask you to pay an extra fee, but I don't think so. That's not really the sense of community that is around. Usually if they're charging you, they're trying to make a business out of it, and that's not something you should be looking for. You should actually be careful, because if they're trying to charge you and they're not a registered company, you have like zero insurance or whatever, it's just, yeah, I don't know, it sounds a bit dodgy. Don't do it. And so lastly, you might be wondering why anyone would accept stranger on their sailboat. Well, let me tell you, having a sailboat is actually a lot of work. And the bigger it is, the more difficult it is to single maneuver it. So if your boat owners and your friends and your family are not available to help you out sailing or go have some fun with you, well, you can actually tap into the internet community and see if anyone is interested in joining. You can make like awesome new connection like we did. You can also get a lot of experience, maybe from the guy who is coming on your boat or from you giving out to the guy who is coming on your boat. I think it's a great exchange of services, because don't think you're going for a cruise and you're gonna be doing nothing. No, you're gonna be helping the person cook, rig, de-rig, sail, maybe sail at night, depending on what you guys do. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your next sailing trip as a crew. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's Travel Thursday episode. I really wanted to share that with you because not a lot of people know about it, but I think sailing is an incredible experience and it's way more accessible than you might think, and can be way cheaper than any other kind of holiday you might have thought, with having that luxurious privilege of seeing the coastline from the ocean and being in front of the most amazing beaches in the world, but from the water. All right. I will let you dream on that, and I will see you tomorrow for new adventures. Remember, if you like that video, leave a big thumbs up, share that video with your friend who is trying to sail more. And if you've already done it, if you have already like experience of going on sailboats like that, let me know in the comments. Maybe you have tips and tricks also on how to make your stay much more enjoyable. And remember guys, make sure you subscribe for this channel, because this is a travel channel for creatives and I'm sharing tips and tricks on traveling, on photography, on video. And when we're traveling, I'm basically creating daily videos. Alright, with that being said, make the most of your time on this planet. You never know when it ends. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.